All right, for those who were with Mike Rogan when he skied with us earlier this year, he talked a little bit about proper tucking technique and technique in the air. I know he mentioned that it has to be committed to muscle memory, the air technique, and I'm sure you've all been working on it. So this is probably unnecessary, but I figured we'd show it anyway. Also, we've been talking other times about aggressive starts, kick starts, and pushing hard. There's two parts of every race: race to the first gate, and a race from the first gate to the finish. And anyone out there, regardless of your ability, can win that first race. Let's check Bodie out with a kick start. Look how hard he pushes. We've also been talking a little bit about sometimes when you're tucking sections, if it's a big turn, we got to get out of the tuck. And we can't sacrifice the turn for a tuck, and he gets right back in. All right, now the tuck. We talked about with Mike how we need to have your back relatively parallel to the snow. The ski poles, you can see Bodie's, they're going to be parallel also to the snow. His hands are up almost in front of his face, blocking his vision, trying to get that bullet. All right, his head is tucked down, his elbows are in, his hands are up. You can see right there, he's like peering over his gloves. So if you're not practically blocking your vision, it ain't good. Our heads and helmets are big. We got to block and create some resistance to get around that wind around our head. All right, as Mike had said, first thing we do approaching a breakover where we get some air is to rise up. The second thing he said was to throw those hands down. You see Bodie starting to throw them down there. So the hands come down. They're at our boots or close to it. Next and last thing he said was we're going to get back in our tuck. We're going to circle the hands backwards. You can see Bodie's elbows there going back, so that the hands there circled back and around out in front. The reason for that is it kind of rolled the shoulders, and you're going to land in the front of the boot. So Bodie uses this technique when the jumps, when he has the ability to land back into a tuck. He's not going to use it all the time, but when he can, he does. This is Val Gardena Super G. He came in 8th place in December. It's quite a run. They're in the air 23 times. There's another one in the air, and hard to see, but there you see the elbows going back, hands around, back in his tuck. Hands by the boots. This one looks like he got a little off balance, so couldn't quite pull it off. You can see there. Let's back that up. He comes through. He's going to rise up a little bit right there. Start throwing the hands down. Hands by his boots. And you can see those hands now come back, elbows back. He circles them backwards around and lands. A lot of air in this one. This one we kind of call rolling down the windows. Slightly off balance, so took him a couple of swings. But eventually, you can see the high elbows right there. Bringing hands around in a little back circular motion. lot of time in the air on this run. This is my favorite part. It's almost like a wave track. Boom. And unfortunately you can't see it well enough here, but you can see it's up in the air there, back down, back standing up. It's like a wave track. Back up again there. Amazing. Going 75 miles an hour through a wave track. So we'll just let this thing roll here. And he went on to an 8th place. Hands by the boots.